Sorry, there you go. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate you. See, I got to look down once in a while. I was ready, but I didn't have it ready. Damn it. I was just saying, I was just listening to some serious, like, fast paced rock and roll. The Foo Fighters, it's a call because today was the debut that they debuted. Today was the day that they debuted on network broadcast television on the Letterman show. And This Is a Call was the song they played. So I watched the Letterman version and it's amazing. And then there was a thing about Joey Ramone, and I'll get to that, but I played Psychotherapy by the Ramones because that's just also amazing. What's up, Don, the idea guy? Hey, Doc Holliday. It's your birthday today, Doc Holliday. Anyway, I was saying that if I fall over, it's because I carried 20 sheets of drywall up 3 flights of stairs today. And my arms are like rubber and my shoulders are just going to be killing me. I can just feel it. I'm already like, ugh. So I'm just wired physically. So August 14th, episode 75. We're headed toward triple digits, toward 100 and then 101. That magical number of 101. And the anniversary of that's coming up next week. CD 101 on the air. August 21st, 1990. Crazy to think it's 35 years since that station started on the air. Nuts. Anyway, today is Navajo Code Talkers Day and Creamsicle Day. I did none of those things. I did not do any Navajo code breaking, and I did not get a chance to get a creamsicle today. I feel horrible about it. But I did eat cookies because, again, chocolate chip cookies. I always have them. Tomorrow is Leather Craft Day. So, people that make belts and wallets. And, when you were a kid, you made leather craft. But that's beside the point. Lemon Meringue Day. I like lemon meringue. Maybe I'll find some lemon meringue tomorrow. Maybe at Soul Fest. They'll have lemon meringue, right? No? And it's National Relaxation Day. Who gets a chance to relax on a Friday? Come on, people. We got work to do. Lives to change. Things make happening. Anyway. So this guy right there. Heinz Verified. Like and subscribe. Go to that. Make comments. Do all that stuff. I'm going to keep bugging you about it until everybody's made comments about me. Good or bad, I don't care. As long as you're pointing at me, hopefully they'll be like, that Randy guy, everyone wants him. Be like, yes, put me on something. Pay me to go road trip. I want to do that. Damn it. And this, don't forget this. RANDSANITY. Like and subscribe to that so I can start posting to it. I had some ideas. I met with somebody the other day and I have some ideas, so I think I'm going to try and what I can do is I can preview them here on this show and then I'll make them into short snippets that I can post on RANDSANITY. That's what I think I'm going to do. I think that's how I'm going to make it happen. Thinking. So before I even get into the other stuff, so this is trademarked, okay? See, I have the little R there, the registered. See, I have the actual R. So this is actual registered trademark, RANDSANITY, with the United States PTSD, Patent Trade and Trademark Office. And so I trademarked it. Its first usage was decades ago. But I finally got a trademark. It took me a year to get it trademarked, which is funny if you think about it. I don't believe that even if you circumvent and use attorneys and everything else, it takes about a year to do a trademark. So anytime you see something that comes out that has the little R next to it, when it's a registered trademark, they planned it a year in advance. So no one does quick marketing when you see this new comes out and it's already registered. They had this thing in the pipeline a year ago. Just keep that in mind, how long it takes people to do stuff like that. So anyway, what I had to do is after it's 6 years, the first thing you have to reestablish your mark. So I have to go ahead and send all this information back to this agency. And they have to verify who I am and my information. And they want birth date and driver's license information. It's a lot. It's a lot. And then I also have to pay money. That's on top of it to keep the register. And then I have to do it again at 10 years and then every 10 years after that. I figure maybe I'll do it at 10 years. I'll be at maybe one more 10 year and then that's probably it. I don't think I'm going to make it, to that. 20 years from now? Maybe. I mean, that's possible. 30? Ooh, we're pushing it. We're way pushing it. There's no way I'm doing 30. If I do, that's awesome. But ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot of years left. Don't know. Anyway, it is so much work to try and navigate this process to get a trademark. It really is. It's crazy. I was on the phone, I was on the computer, and then on the phone because it's like, go to this browser. It sends you information on your phone. Then it opens up this thing on your browser and you have to like connect. It was crazy. So much work. And I didn't even finish it because I did not want to send the payment for $325 today. Because I'm like, I don't have $325 to send today. But I only have till the 27th. And then I go into the 6-month abandonment zone. And then after that, it becomes dead. So I've got to do it before the 27th. So I'm going to have to get back to figuring out how to do this whole trademark thing, which is kind of crazy. And the only thing I have trademarked is the actual name, RANDSANITY, RANDSANITY. And it's trademarked for apparel, for shirts, hats, merchandise, and such. That's what it's actually trademarked for. So it's just a very interesting process of how to get something trademarked and how to be in this whole thing. And I get solicitations all the time, like constantly from attorneys, because it's public record. So they just go and they just search for when things are going to be up for 6 years. So I get these unsolicited emails all the time because I have to have an email that's public and a phone number and all this other crap. And it's like, unless you block it and do it through an attorney and then you have to pay money to them. And it's like, oh, we'll just do it for an easy $1,000 or blah, 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 blah. So yeah, just one of those hassles I don't need. But anyway, so this is going to be in relatively no particular order because there was a lot of stuff. I just dove and spent a little time and I just got 2 pages of this stuff. So there's all sorts of crazy things. Some connections, some not, just stuff, interesting stuff. The one thing I found that was funny is that normally this is all past dates. I have a future date, 2126. And that is when Comet Swift-Tuttle will make a close approach to Earth. So Swift-Tuttle was discovered a long time ago. It has nothing to do with Taylor Swift. But this is the comet that the Perseids, like what we're seeing now, is it's part of it. So that's why they brought it up, because it's part of it. So annually we get it, but it has like 130-ish year cycle, and it comes close. It gets really close. At some point, it has the percentage of collision with Earth, and at one point, I think it was like 31, 36. It'll be less than 1 million miles away. So it'll be very visible. It's 16 miles in diameter, and it would be an ELE event, extinction level event if it hit the planet. Because it's that big and moving that fast. But it's just 2126, so I won't be here. You probably won't be here, but just so you know, someone may see the dinosaurs reenacted, and we will be them. Anyway, 1965, Sonny and Cher release I Got You, Babe, and it goes to number 1. I Got You, Babe. I did not listen to Sonny and Cher tonight, just so you know. I did not put that one in there. 1965, the Beatles taped the Ed Sullivan Show. I have gone and seen that where it's like, the Beatles. It's just funny. Ed Sullivan, that voice he had. And then 1966, Cleveland Stadium, their first rock show ever. Who was it? It was the Beatles. There was a barricade that got torn down and pandemonium broke out. Near riot conditions, they said, and it took 30 minutes to get things under control. So imagine a bazillion screaming Beatles fans headed toward the stage and out of control. But it was not like The Who, which ended in a very tragic stampede. And that happened in Ohio as well. One of those crazy things. Nick Lowe releases So It Goes in 1976. Michael Jackson in 1985 bought most of the Beatles collection, $47.5 million. Now, Michael Jackson, pretty smart because now everyone does that, the hedge funds and all that stuff. 10 years later, he sold half of the collection to Sony for $150 million. So he basically made $100 million profit in 10 years for half of what he bought. So now everyone does it. All the hedge funds are doing that. And every big artist is selling their catalogs and everything else. But MJ, one of the very first ones to do it, called Mr. Michael Jackson ahead of his times. 1995, both Oasis and Blur released singles on the same day, pitting each other against themselves as the British, I guess the British Music Showdown, they said. I don't know. And then, like I said, 1995, the Foo Fighters debuted on TV, network television with David Letterman. This Is a Call was the song. If you want to see an interestingly young Dave Grohl and a good show, go watch that. It's on YouTube, and it's definitely worth watching. Foo Fighters are great. You got to love Foo Fighters. And This Is a Call is a great song. I enjoyed watching it. I like I said, I just watched it. Okay, so birthdays. Now, because there was a bunch of things that happened over here. See, second page. So 1909, Indianapolis Speedway has its first race on it. But it's not cars, motorcycles. That was the first thing that actually raced when the Indy 500 happens. Motorcycles raced on the track of the Indianapolis Speedway. 1925, Mount Rushmore is proposed. So it's the first time it's spoken about on this date, August 14th, 1925. Mount Rushmore proposed. I mean, I know there's lots of talk about Mount Rushmore again, so let's just keep it that it was proposed from 1925. 1935, the Social Security Act becomes law. It's a law. Let's just keep the Social Security Act as a law because it was made that way in 1935. 1937, the Appalachian Trail is formally completed. I guess it was done. There was other things, but it was the formal completion of it. 2,000 miles, 14 states from Georgia to Maine. That's how long the Appalachian Trail goes. I have not walked the Appalachian Trail all 2,000 miles. I've walked on the Appalachian Trail itself, but I have not, in fact, traversed all 2,000 miles of it. That would definitely be something to do if you've got a little bit of free time. 2,000-mile walk, that's a long-ass way to go. Today is VJ Day, 1945, where Japan formally surrenders to the United States unconditionally, because there were some conditions put on a little bit afterwards by the emperor, but this is when they officially and unconditionally basically said, we give. It's also the day of that picture. You see the famous picture of the sailor who's like kissing the woman in Times Square. That's on this day as well, because it's VJ Day. Not the VJJ, just VJ Day. 1970, Stephen Stills of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young is arrested for drugs. Arrested for drugs. It doesn't say where, but you know, who knows. In 1974, because it was illegal before this, U.S. Congress allows U.S. citizens to formally own gold, because you couldn't own gold for a while. You weren't allowed to actually possess it. There was something the other day that talked about a museum or somebody got raided and 25 gold coins were taken because they were in possession. No one was allowed to own bullion. How funny is that? I guess I knew that, but that's one of those things. You weren't allowed to have gold. Now you can if you have the money. It used to be a few $100s an ounce. Now it's headed toward $3,000. Why I was listening to psychotherapy? Because in 1983, Johnny Ramone got his skull fractured by getting kicked in the head in a bar fight in Queens, New York over a woman. And then they had brain surgery. Same year as psychotherapy was released. So that's why I listened to the Ramone psychotherapy. Because it just seemed like it was appropriate. Because I was like, wait a second, when is that song done? And of course I looked, I was like, oh, 1983. That would make perfect sense. So maybe it was written in conjunction with that bar fight and brain surgery. I don't know. You tell me. You can connect the dots. It seems like there's a dot there. This one was not great. I'm sorry. This was just not a great one. 2019, rain samples taken and looking for microplastics found over 90% of the samples had microplastics in them. And this was in 2019. 90% of the rain samples that were taken, and this was the U.S. government that said this, so this is true. Wink, wink. 90% of rain samples had microplastics. That's just horrifying. So if you think about those, so that means it's definitely in our blood, and you wonder why we have things. So I don't know if you want to scream about, everything from heart attacks and strokes and autism and everything else. It's because there's plastic in our frigging blood. Just stop it. Stop doing that stuff. Stop making fleece. Stop washing fleece. Ugh. 90%. 90%. And we wonder why we're all dying of something. Just saying. All right. Let's see. So this is birthdays, I believe. It's a huge list because I dove into just people as opposed to just rock stars, and because the rock stars and movie stars seem to be like slowing down right now. So there weren't a lot of procreation happening 9 months ago for rock stars and movie stars. Just seemed very interesting. So again, no particular order, and some I didn't have dates with because I didn't care. So Anna Matronic, or Anna Lynch of the Scissor Sisters, her birthday is today. Slim Dunlap of the Replacements, born on this day. Now, this is an interesting connection. David Crosby, also of CSNNY. We just talked about S, Stephen Stills, and this is C, Crosby, David, and the Byrds, birthday today. So your buddy got arrested on your birthday. Cool. Were you together? Were you partying? Was there a problem? That's what I'm thinking. Just saying. Cindy, Susan Olsen, birthday today. That was Cindy of the Brady Bunch, the little precocious one. 1966, Halle Berry, her birthday is today. What movie was she in that was fun? Swordfish. That was an interesting movie with John Travolta. Interesting concept. Mila Kunis from that 70s show, her birthday today. Also the anniversary on the death of Lisa Robin Kelly from that 70s show. She was the sister on the show, the blonde. So she died not too long ago. But yes, so 70s show connection, a birth and a death on the same day of the same show. Daryl Dash Croft of Seals and Croft. Summer breeze makes me feel fine. Rolling to that's his birthday today. Bruce Thompson, the bassist for Elvis Costello, birthday today. Now, this is what I said before. In 1851, it's Doc Holliday's birthday. Not Don the Idea Guy Holiday, it's Doc Holliday. Doc Holliday was a dentist, gambler, and gunfighter. Quite the interesting combination. So he actually was a doctor of dentistry, and he was in the famous OK Corral shootout. Great, great, great grandpa. Nice. Very cool. That's some interesting history. Did not realize that was your family lineage. Doctor, gambler, and gunfighter. All right. Very cool. 1903, John Ringling North. Now, what was he named for? Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. John Ringling. So Ringling Brothers, there was actually, there was a brother. His name was John, and he was born on this date in 1903. 1947, Danielle Steele, the author of steamy romance novels that kept all the housewives busy in the day reading their steamy romance novels, fantasizing about the pool boy and Juan Carlo and everything else. 1950, Far Side producer from Tacoma, Washington, Gary Larson, born today. I love the Far Side. I think that humor fits right in with my level of maturity. It's usually just perfect. I have one that I've had forever. It's a picture of a gumball machine, and it's filled with mice. And there's a cat who's putting the money in, and he's like turning the handle, and the mouse is putting. It says, "Randy's going down." I was like, yeah, I could see that. Just the mice in a gumball machine, and the cat's just, putting some money into it, and you're swirling the drain, headed on out to Mr. Cat. Alice Ghostly. Alice Ghostly. The name seemed familiar when I was cruising by, so I was like, why do I know that? It was from Bewitched. It was Cousin Alice. She was that fumbling one that always screwed everything up. She always, went to do some sort of a magic, a spell, and it always was the wrong thing. She would turn somebody into something else, or something bad would happen that was supposed to happen. But yes, Alice Ghostly from Bewitched. At first I thought it was maybe Mrs. Kravitz. Abner! There's somebody in the front yard! I have a neighbor that was like that. She literally is Mrs. Kravitz. And not Lenny's mom either. Just so we're saying. 1945, 80 years today, Steve Martin. There's a great autobiographical movie on Steve Martin. How he really, pushed his way to get where he is, and how that, the amount of fame that he had when he was doing his stand-up routine, and he was way, way, way out in front of the his skis on a lot of the stuff that he did, because people were just like, what is this crazy cat doing? And they didn't get it, and eventually sort of the world caught up to his insanity, and Steve Martin had his heyday with his arrow through his head and being a wild and crazy guy. But yeah, if you definitely another one of those worth finding and watching about Steve Martin. This live, yes, eat more chicken or else. It is totally live. I am live. See, look right here. I can change cameras. See, look, I changed the cameras. Now I'm over there. Now I'm back over here. So yes, it's live. Hi, eat more chicken or else. What happens if I don't eat more chicken? That's what I'd like to know. Just saying. This one made me laugh. Well, okay, hold on. First, we have another birthday was Antonio Fargas, and that was Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch. But on the death things, okay? So the first one, of course, and this one made me laugh because we talked about this. Now I've got to talk about this twice. Crap. I was too busy watching and Eat More Chicken or Else that I did not notice the camera was going to time out. But I've got to talk about this twice, and to get it for the third time's the charm. Today is the anniversary of the death of who else but Admiral David Farragut. And why do we love Admiral David Farragut? Because he's the one that said, "Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead." So there you go. Admiral David Farragut. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. I love that story so much. I'm going to always remember these dates for that guy in particular. Today is also the anniversary of the death of Father Michael J. McGinty, an Irish-American priest. Died when he was 38 years old, but he founded the Knights of Columbus. Interesting. 38 years old and founded the Knights of Columbus. I guess, if you're a priest, you're kind of bored. That's what you're going to do. Find things. Found things, I don't know. Also today, the anniversary of the death of William Randolph Hearst, publisher out in San Francisco. I went to the Hearst Castle years ago. It was probably, I think it was maybe my first trip out to California. So I was like 18 to visit my cousin who lived out there. And we drove down the coast and stopped at the Hearst Castle and did like the whole big, like self-guided tour and everything. And it was just this crazy giant mansion up above the fog line, like out near Big Sur, and it just was just massive, monstrous. Just the opulence and the extravagance of this home was unbelievable. Hearst Castle. If you're ever out there and you have a day trip to do, go check out Hearst Castle. Again, it's just crazy how big it's sort of like what I imagine, a castle in England would be. I've not been to the England countryside to see any of these big castles, so I imagine what it would be. But that is definitely what it reminded me of. Just again, the opulence of this palatial place. This one I just found interesting. C. Howard Crane. Today's Denver versus Death. He designed all of the Fox theaters, the Detroit Olympian Stadium, and the Levesque Tower, Columbus, Ohio. I was like, oh, interesting. Now, I didn't get a chance to look where C. Howard Crane is from, but it just, while scanning through it, the Columbus, Ohio caught my eye, and I was like, Levesque Tower. I'm like, oh, interesting. So, yeah, so C. Howard Crane is the one who designed that. He also did all the Fox theaters, so there's Fox theaters in all sorts of places. I've been to a couple of them. One in Detroit, I think one in Boulder, Colorado, maybe. So that's an interesting thing there. But yeah, I don't know who this C. Howard Crane guy is. He might be a Ohio guy. I don't know. I'm not sure who C. Howard Crane is. Gladys Presley, speaking of moms, Elvis's mom passed away on this day. So that was in all the Elvis movies, made Elvis very sad. Very sad that Mama died. Also today we lost Enzo Ferrari of the famous Ferrari family. The Ferrari race team, the designer of the Ferraris, and the founder of the Ferrari name. Enzo Ferrari. He lived to like 90-something years old. Also today, on this day, we lost Dorothy Stratton. Now, Dorothy Stratton was a Playboy model that was murdered by her crazy boyfriend. There was a movie with Margot Hemingway, Star 80, I believe, is the movie. But yeah, it's just a crazy, like, controlling, sociopathic dude that just did not. He got everything he wanted and more. Let's put it that way, and including a rifle muzzle in his mouth. So yeah, Star 80, Dorothy Stratton. Ron Palillo, Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter. We lost him today on this day. Alan Lanier of Blue Oyster Cult went away today. And like I said, Lisa Robin Kelly, she was from that 70s show. She passed away on this date. And we also lost Patrick McGee from A Clockwork Orange. He was the old dude that basically was the house that they broke into twice when he broke into it. And he was the one that then rehabilitated him. Would you like more wine? That was that crazy, crazy actor. But yes, The Clockwork Orange was definitely a Stanley Kubrick's one of his magnum opuses. It was just a wild ass movie. If you've not seen A Clockwork Orange, I highly recommend you're watching it. It is as twisted as they come, and it's outstanding. Malcolm McDowell always plays those roles and does it so well. Just good at those crazy things. I always found that to be a good role for him to do that kind of stuff. So that was all the births and deaths and things that happened. Like I said, I just kind of fell into some of the rabbit holes when I was looking at the Swift-Tuttle comet, just because it had so much history about when it was first discovered and everything else along the way, and then started to find this stuff about, the Ramones and the Foo Fighters, and then I have to listen to music and to get distracted, and but tomorrow is the Soul Festival. I don't know anything about what I'm doing for this. That's what I love. That right there fits into the category of RANDSANITY. I got a call by the guy who books a lot of this stuff, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to work at the Soul Festival this weekend?" I'm just like, "Sure, great." He goes, "Do you want to?" I was like, "No, I don't know anything about it. Just yeah, sure. It's put on by Rec and Parks. They know me." I'm like, "Okay, perfect. When do I get paid?" "Okay, good." So I'm just going to work the Soul Festival. I have no idea what it is. I know where it's at. It's downtown in Bicentennial Park. But I don't know any of the artists or any of the history of it. So it should be fun. Sounds like it'll be great. I'm looking forward to. I'm imagining there's going to be some really good food. That's what I'm looking forward to, because I imagine there's going to be some good, tasty victuals. So that should be good stuff. Did I tell you how sore I'm going to be tomorrow, though? I can just feel it. I just kind of feel my muscles are like wired. Like I said, I lifted 20 sheets of drywall 3 floors up today, and it just this motion of picking it up and carrying it sideways, going up around the corners, and oh man, I don't know if it's that I'm old and out of shape, which I am not either of those two, but it's just a lot of work, man. You have to give credit to people who can do this every single day, that lift sheetrock like that or shingle roofs, because you have to carry the stuff that, up the, man, I'm telling you, that is not the easiest thing in the world to do. One of the things that I did find out about when I was trying to re-register this today, that RANDSANITY, is that what I have to do is send them specimens. So I've got to get a bunch of pictures of all the stuff. So I have the RANDSANITY's, excuse me, I have the RANDSANITY's website built. I'm just not making it live at the moment, but I have to do that. So I'm going to have to make this thing live in the next, today is what, 14th? So 10 days? Not even 10 days, I've got to make it live, because they have to show that I'm using it in commerce, or they will decline my renewal, which would be bad, because then I don't want to have this little R anymore on my shirts. I would not be allowed to. So we're going to have to work on that. One of the things that prompted me is that, so today I get sent a story about feral children in New Jersey and how they, I didn't get to read the article fully, and I will, but it was talking about how, unsupervised kids, like parents don't know where they are all day. They're just out playing, and they might arrest the parents. And I'm like, what? Wait, when did we become this nanny state that, wait, you're going to arrest parents because they let their kids play outside all day and they didn't know where they're out playing? Like, do we have to have leashes on them? I just talking about, how tomorrow's National Hawaii Shirt Day. Nice. I don't have a Hawaiian shirt, but you do. You have plenty of Hawaiian shirts, and you will wear a Hawaiian shirt. I know that. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, don't you want kids to go out and play and explore and be kids? I guess not. I guess that's now verboten. You may not go out and have fun. You may not play. You may not be unsupervised. Do not go out and play with green eggs and ham. Sam-I-am. You may not have fun. You may not play in the sun. You may not burn. I can't rhyme. I've got, my throat's all scratchy now from drinking whatever this strawberry lemonade sparkling water. Oh, real squeezed fruit. No wonder it's making my mouth all squeezed. Not so great. What can I say? National Hawaiian Shirt Day. Brilliant. I love that. All right. Fair enough. We'll see how that goes. I won't have a Hawaiian shirt tomorrow. This, though, this you have to go make a like and comment about. Remember? That's the whole point. Just saying. All right, so Soul Fest tomorrow, and then Soul Fest on Saturday. So tomorrow I should get done. My schedule is like 3 to midnight both days. I think it ends by 10, so I'll just Uber home, and I should be back in time. If I got a little free time to the day, I'll take my pad and I'll make my notes during the day, so I don't have nothing to talk about except for Soul Fest tomorrow. But then Saturday, I don't know. So we'll have to see what Friday brings and what Saturday is going to talk about. So I'll know tomorrow night what Saturday is going to happen. So that may have to be one of those briefer shows that I'll have the cliff notes of something, but not be able to do the full show because I won't have the studio. All this glorious 7-foot by 8-foot space. So that. And there you go. And Don, are we losing you when you start teaching? Don became a teacher, which is awesome. Are we going to lose you? Are you going to not be able to stay up at late at night because you're going to get up early and shape the young minds of future leaders of the world? I wondered that. I'm like, wait a second. That means that we may lose Don. He won't be able to do late nights anymore. What will we do? The secret producer. Correct. Early morning, Monday through Thursday. Ugh. Well, that's just sucky. So Monday through Thursday. So that means Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. So we lose you for 5 days. So we'll only have you on Friday and Saturday. Ugh. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just when you think you have it all figured out, somebody goes ahead and gets a job. Fine. Well, Thursday and Friday night can be our secret producer. Okay, good. Well, then I would definitely be getting the secret producer headphones back in place and put in sand Saturday night. Sand Saturday night? Thursday and Friday night, I can be secret producer. Sand Saturday night. That's what I figured. I figured sand Saturday night, like what, pound sand? Thanks, Don. I see how it is. Sand Saturday night. I don't know if I like that. All right. Well, I'm going to depart because it is time for me to go hit the couch and watch something. So I did watch the rest of the episode of Alien Earth. That's all right. I prefer to binge watch because I don't have to wait till when's the next episode come? I hate that with a passion. If you're going to make me wait, like I'm impatient. That's the whole point of this. I'll find something else and I'll forget about it. Or they'll cancel it after 3 episodes and I'll be like, you suck for doing that. All right. Soulfest tomorrow. I'll give you a report on Soulfest afterwards. I don't know if I have a golf cart again. I will take my GoPro because I have the golf cart. I'll get some GoPro stuff. Maybe I'll ride the scooter, get some GoPro scooter action. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll do something fun. But yes, like I said, I think I figured out maybe to do like these little skits. And that's where I can like show the skit in between. That'll be part of my thing with the skits. And then that can be separated out and put onto RANDSANITY. That feels like, okay, there you go. It gives me a little less pressure because I don't have to come up with it because I can do it as I kind of spontaneously do it and see things and figure things out. Things that remind me like, oh my God, that's funny. I wonder if I did this. So, and I don't have to, if I just use myself, I sort of do myself, like I can be both characters, just like put on glasses and a wig or silly mustache and just enough where it's, this is me, this is not me, this is me, this is not me. That's my thoughts. You have to tell me if you like it. And if you hate them, then I'll have to stop doing it or continue to do it and annoy everybody and they'll have nobody watching. What can I say? Appreciate you. Thank you, friends. Don't forget this. Watch it. Subscribe to it. Comment on it. That's all I really care about. Comment. Comment at this point. We want to get those numbers up and comments. Comments. Have a great evening. Enjoy your Friday. And hopefully it's your last day of work for the week. Not mine. We'll see you then. And away we go. And we will fade to black.